Hey everyone, Emily here. Have you ever stopped to think, where do I see myself in 5 years? Or, if I could do anything at all in the future, what would it be?
That's a fantastic way to start, Emily. Welcome to the English podcast for listening and speaking. I'm Brian, your co-host, and today we're diving deep into your future plans and ambitions.
Oh, I have so many. Personally, I dream of publishing a children's book someday. It's a big aspiration, but I'm slowly working towards it. What about you, Brian? Any big ambitions on your mind?
That's wonderful, Emily. For me, a significant goal is to learn to play the guitar proficiently. I envision myself performing a song for my family by next year. It's a small step, but it's a clear intention. Talking about what you want to achieve is incredibly useful for your English. It naturally helps you practice future tenses, conditional phrases, and a lot of essential vocabulary that you'll use every day.
Exactly. And speaking of dreaming big, if you're enjoying learning English with us, please remember to like, share, and comment on this episode. It really helps YouTube recommend our podcast so more people can improve their English with us.
Today, we're going to explore a range of vocabulary and expressions, along with key grammar points, all focused on helping you articulate your dreams and goals in English. Get ready to dream big with us. Welcome back, everyone. In our last segment, we touched upon our own personal dreams. Now let's build on that foundation and dive into the specific vocabulary you'll need to talk about your future plans with confidence and clarity.
Yes, there are so many great words to describe what we hope to achieve. Brian, where should we begin our vocabulary journey today?
Let's start with goal. A goal is something specific you aim to achieve in the future. It's often concrete and measurable. For example, my goal is to run a marathon next year.
So, my goal to publish a children's book, that's a very clear target, right?
Exactly. Next, ambition. An ambition is a strong desire to achieve success, often in a grander way. It's the powerful drive behind your actions.
So if my goal is to publish one book, my ambition might be to become a best-selling author? That sounds like a bigger, deeper desire.
You're right. Closely related is aspiration. Aspiration refers to a strong hope or aim for something great or valuable, like high achievement. For instance, her aspiration is to make a positive impact on the environment.
So an aspiration could be to become a leading expert in a field. It's a very high aim.
Precisely. Moving on to objective. An objective is a specific aim or goal, usually clearly defined and measurable, often within a project or a business plan. For example, our objective for this quarter is to increase sales by 10%.
So it sounds very practical and business-oriented.
Yes, now, dream? A dream is a cherished aspiration or ambition that is often highly desired, but might seem unrealistic or difficult to achieve in the present.
Oh, I love the word dream. My dream is to travel around the world for a whole year. It feels big and maybe a little bit impossible right now.
It's wonderful to have dreams, Emily, because they inspire us. Next up is plan. A plan is a detailed proposal for doing or achieving something. It involves steps, organization, and a timeline.
So if my dream is to travel the world, then my plan would involve saving money, researching destinations, and booking tickets. It's the how.
Absolutely. A plan is the structured approach. Closely related is intention. An intention is an aim or purpose, something you mean to do, perhaps without all the specific steps of a detailed plan yet.
So I have the intention to learn how to play the piano, but I haven't bought one yet. It's my current aim.
Exactly, Emily. Next, milestone. A milestone is a significant stage or event in the development of something, marking a point of progress.
Like reaching 10,000 subscribers on our podcast would be a huge milestone for us.
Excellent example. Then there's career path. Your career path is the progression of your professional life, including all the jobs and experiences you undertake.
So, someone's career path might start as an assistant, then move to a manager. It's the entire journey of their working life.
Precisely. Finally, vision. A vision is an idea or concept of what you hope something will be like in the future, often a grand, overarching picture.
So, a company's vision might be to revolutionize how people communicate globally. It's the big, inspiring picture.
You've got it, Emily. So remember these: goal, ambition, aspiration, objective, dream, plan, intention, milestone, career path, and vision.
Wow, that was incredibly clear, Brian. Now let's clarify the difference between going to and will for future plans.
Of course, Emily, we use will for predictions about the future not based on strong present evidence. For example, I think it will be sunny tomorrow.
So, a general guess.
Yes. Secondly, for spontaneous decisions made at the moment of speaking. If a friend says, "I forgot my wallet," you might immediately respond, "No problem, I'll pay for lunch."
So, an instant decision.
Precisely. And for promises or offers, "I will help you with your homework tonight." So, will often feels less planned.
Got it. Now, what about going to?
We use going to first for future plans and intentions that have already been decided before the moment of speaking. For example, "I'm going to visit my grandparents next weekend," meaning you've already planned it.
Ah, a definite plan.
Exactly. Second, for predictions based on present evidence. If you see dark clouds, you might say, "Look at those clouds. It's going to rain," because the evidence is right there.
So, will for general predictions and spontaneous actions, and going to for plans you've already made or predictions based on evidence.
You've nailed it. The key difference lies in the level of prior planning or the basis of the prediction.
Okay, Brian, I think I've got it. Let's put all of this new vocabulary and the will versus going to into action. Let's discuss our career aspirations for the next 5 years.
That's an excellent idea, Emily. So what's your primary career objective for the next 5 years?
Well, my main objective, considering my aspiration to publish a children's book, is to secure a traditional publishing contract. I'm going to dedicate significant time to refining my manuscript this year. That's a definite plan.
That sounds like a clear, ambitious objective. What would you consider a major milestone you're hoping to achieve on that career path?
Definitely finding a literary agent within the next year. That will be a huge milestone for me. I believe I will find the right person because I'm going to attend several online pitching events soon.
That's proactive. And what kind of overall vision do you have for yourself in 5 years within the publishing world?
My vision is to have my first book published and to be actively working on my second. I'm also going to invest in a professional writing course next spring. I have a strong intention to become a recognized voice in children's literature.
That's an inspiring vision, Emily. For me, my biggest career ambition is to expand our podcast's reach significantly, making it a global resource. I believe we will become one of the top English learning podcasts.
Oh, I love that ambition, Brian. What's an immediate goal you've set to achieve that?
My immediate goal is to successfully launch a series of short bonus episodes focusing on specific grammar points, starting next quarter. I'm going to dedicate at least 10 hours a week to planning the content, as I believe they will attract new listeners.
That's a fantastic plan. How do you see that fitting into your overall career path as a language educator?
Well, my long-term vision is to establish our podcast as a leading resource for intermediate English learners worldwide. I envision that by the end of 5 years, we will have built a vibrant, truly global community.
That's a truly inspiring dream, Brian. What's a significant milestone you're aiming for within the next year?
A key milestone for me is to double our current listenership by this time next year. I'm going to research new marketing strategies and perhaps collaborate with other educational content creators. This is a very firm intention, and I'm confident we will succeed.
That sounds like a clear objective with a strong plan behind it. I'm excited to work towards that with you.
Me too, Emily. And listeners, did you notice how naturally we integrated all of those new vocabulary words? Goal, ambition, aspiration, objective, dream, plan, intention, milestone, career path, and vision? We also used both will and going to.
It really does become natural, doesn't it? I feel much more confident now knowing when to use will for spontaneous thoughts or general predictions, and going to for plans or evidence-based predictions.
Excellent. Remember, practice is key. Try to use these words and grammar points when you talk about your own future.
Yes, listeners, think about your own career path, your biggest ambition, or a small goal for next week. Try to describe it using some of these words. Are you going to do something specific, or do you think you will achieve something?
The more you use these words and structures, the more natural they will feel. These are the building blocks you need to articulate your aspirations. Welcome back. In our last part, we discussed general future plans and clarified will versus going to. Now let's narrow our focus to a very common and important area of our lives: education and career ambitions.
Oh, this is a big one for many of our listeners, including me. What kind of specific words do we need when we talk about school or our jobs?
Excellent question, Emily. We have some really useful vocabulary for this segment. Let's start with degree. A degree is an academic title or qualification awarded by universities or colleges for completing a course of study. For example, she's working hard to earn her engineering degree.
So, a bachelor's degree or a master's degree are types of degrees. Got it. What about getting experience before you even get a full job?
That's where internship comes in. An internship is a period of work experience offered by an organization for a limited period of time. It often gives students or graduates practical experience in a particular field. He completed an internship at a major tech company last summer.
That's so important for learning on the job. And once you're working, what's a common ambition people have?
A common ambition is a promotion. A promotion is the action of moving someone to a more important job or rank in an organization. After 5 years, she finally received a promotion to senior manager.
That's always exciting news. So we have degree, internship, and promotion. What about improving yourself professionally?
That leads us to skill development. Skill development refers to the process of improving your abilities and competencies, often through training, courses, or practice. Continuous skill development is crucial in a fast-changing job market.
So, if I take a course on advanced podcast editing, that's skill development. Makes sense.
Exactly. And how do people often find opportunities or jobs?
Through other people, right?
Precisely, that's networking. Networking is the activity of meeting and talking to people to establish contacts, especially for professional advancement. Attending industry conferences is a great way of networking.
That's so true. I've met so many amazing people just by chatting at events. And what if you want to be your own boss?
Then you're talking about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. Many young people are interested in entrepreneurship today.
That sounds exciting and a bit scary. What if you need advice on that journey?
You would look for a mentor. A mentor is an experienced and trusted advisor. Having a good mentor can significantly accelerate your career path.
That's so valuable to have someone guide you. And finally, what about a good chance to achieve something?
That's an opportunity. An opportunity is a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. He seized the opportunity to work abroad.
Wow, so many great words. So we have degree, internship, promotion, skill development, networking, entrepreneurship, mentor, and opportunity.
You've got them, Emily. Now let's connect these words with a very useful grammar point for talking about future possibilities and conditions. The first conditional.
I remember this one. It's about real possibilities, right?
Exactly. The first conditional is used to talk about future events that are likely to happen, or real possibilities. The structure is usually if plus present simple, will plus base verb.
So, if it rains, I will stay home. The first part is the condition, and the second part is the result.
Perfect example. It expresses a cause and effect for a future situation. So if the condition in the if clause is met, the result in the will clause is expected to happen.
Give me another example related to our topic.
Okay, if I study hard, I will pass my exams. Here the condition is studying hard, and the likely result is passing exams.
So, it's about what you will do if a certain thing happens.
Yes? We can also reverse the order of the clauses. I will pass my exams if I study hard. The meaning stays the same. Remember, if the if clause comes first, we use a comma. If the will clause comes first, no comma is needed.
Got it. No comma in the middle if is in the middle. All right, Brian, I'm ready to try to put this all together. I've been thinking about something big recently for my future career.
I'm curious, Emily. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about entrepreneurship. My dream is to eventually start my own online store selling handmade pottery. It's a bit different from podcasting, I know.
That's a fantastic ambition, Emily. Let's explore that using our new vocabulary and the first conditional. So, what's the first step you're thinking about?
My very first step is to improve my pottery skills. So if I take an advanced pottery course, I will be able to create more complex designs. That's a definite plan for skill development.
Excellent application of the first conditional. What about the business side of things?
Well, if I manage to create enough inventory, I will launch a basic website by the end of the year. That's my immediate objective.
And how do you plan to get the word out or find customers?
I know networking will be key. If I attend local craft fairs, I will meet other artists and potential customers. Also, if I post regularly on social media, I will build a stronger online presence for my brand.
Very smart. What about learning more about the business of selling online?
That's a good point. I think if I find a mentor who has experience with e-commerce, I will learn invaluable tips about marketing and shipping. I'm actively looking for one now. I think that would be a huge opportunity for me.
Absolutely, a good mentor can be a game changer. And what if things go really well? What's your bigger vision?
Oh, if my online store is successful, I will definitely consider opening a small physical studio where I can also offer pottery classes. That would be a huge promotion for my brand, moving from online to a physical space.
That's an inspiring career path. And what if you needed to gain more formal business knowledge for that physical studio?
Good question. If I decide to open a physical studio, I might consider going back to school part-time to get a business degree. That would be a big commitment, but it would give me a solid foundation.
That's thinking ahead. What about internships? Could those play a role?
Maybe not for me directly, but if my business grows, I will consider offering internships to art students. That would be a wonderful opportunity for them to get hands-on experience in a creative business, and it would help me too.
That's a great idea, Emily. You're already thinking like a successful entrepreneur. So to recap, you've used skill development by taking a course, networking at craft fairs and online, finding a mentor for e-commerce, seeing the opportunity in a physical studio, and potentially even getting a degree or offering an internship down the line. All of this tied together with the first conditional.
I can really see how if I do X, I will achieve Y is so useful for planning. It makes my big dream feel more concrete because I can connect the steps with the results.
Exactly. It's all about breaking down your large ambitions into smaller, achievable steps. Let's look at a few more general examples for our listeners.
Yes, please.
Okay, think about skill development. If you enroll in that coding boot camp, you will develop valuable new skills for the tech industry.
That's a very practical example. And promotion?
If she consistently exceeds her sales targets, she will likely get a promotion next year. This shows how hard work can lead to advancement.
What about networking?
If you actively participate in online professional groups, you will expand your networking opportunities significantly. Or, if you find a good mentor, your career path will become much clearer.
So, we can also use the first conditional to talk about what won't happen if a condition isn't met.
Absolutely, you can use the negative form. If you don't update your resume, you won't get an interview. Or, if she doesn't complete her degree, she won't be able to apply for that job.
That's super useful. It's like a clear warning or a consequence.
Precisely, it helps you express realistic outcomes based on actions or inactions.
Listeners, I hope you're thinking about your own education and career goals right now. What are your aspirations?
Yes, think about it. If you want a promotion, what skill development will you focus on? If you want to start your own business through entrepreneurship, what opportunities will you look for?
And who could be a mentor for you? If you reach out to them, what will happen? Try to use the first conditional.
Practice saying these sentences aloud. The more you use them, the more natural they will become. It's truly a fundamental structure for discussing future plans and possibilities.
This feels like such a practical way to talk about our future. I feel much more equipped to discuss my pottery store dreams now.
And that's exactly our goal. Now, from education and careers, let's shift gears a bit. In our next section, we're going to talk about even broader personal dreams and lifestyle goals. The kind of aspirations that fill our bucket list. Welcome back. We just talked about education and career goals using the first conditional, which is all about real possibilities. Now let's zoom out a little and talk about those bigger, often more personal dreams, the kind of things that make up our bucket list.
Oh, I love this topic. This is where things get really exciting and imaginative. When I think about personal dreams, I think about things like traveling the world or learning something completely new. What kind of vocabulary helps us talk about these big aspirations?
You're right, Emily. This is where we can really let our imaginations fly. Let's start with that word you just used, travel. Travel means to go from one place to another, often over a long distance, for pleasure or business. It's a very common personal dream. For example, my biggest dream is to travel around the world for a year.
That's on my list too. What about helping others?
For that, we often use volunteer. To volunteer means to freely offer to do something, or to work for an organization without being paid, usually to help a community or a cause. If I had more free time, I would love to volunteer at a local animal shelter.
That's a wonderful aspiration. Many people also dream about their personal lives and families, right?
Absolutely. A very common phrase is start a family. This means to have children and begin a family unit. For instance, after they get married, they hope to start a family within a few years.
And what about a big purchase that represents settling down?
That would be buy a house. This phrase means to purchase a residential property to live in. Their long-term goal is to save enough money to buy a house with a big garden.
What about picking up a new skill just for personal enrichment?
That's where learn a language comes in. This means to acquire proficiency in a new language. She wants to learn a language like Japanese or Korean before she travels to Asia.
And for those looking far ahead, what about when work is no longer the main focus?
That's retire. To retire means to stop working permanently, usually because of age. Many people dream of retiring early and spending their time on hobbies.
Speaking of dreams, you mentioned a bucket list earlier. What exactly is that?
A bucket list is a list of things that a person wants to do, experience, or achieve before they die. The origin of the phrase comes from the idiom kick the bucket, meaning to die. So, it's a list of experiences before you kick the bucket. Skydiving was at the top of her bucket list.
I love that. It makes big dreams feel tangible. What about exciting experiences in general?
For thrilling or daring experiences, we use adventure. An adventure is an unusual, exciting, and daring experience. Going on a safari in Africa would be a true adventure.
And what about things we do just for fun or for personal enjoyment?
That's where hobby comes in. A hobby is an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. Photography is his favorite hobby, and he dreams of taking pictures of wildlife around the world.
So, we have travel, volunteer, start a family, buy a house, learn a language, retire, bucket list, adventure, and hobby. These are all wonderful words for describing personal aspirations.
They certainly are. Now, to talk about these kinds of dreams, especially those that are hypothetical, imaginary, or perhaps less likely to happen than the real possibilities we discussed with the first conditional, we use a different grammar structure, the second conditional.
The second conditional. This is where we enter the world of what if, right?
Exactly. The second conditional is used to talk about unreal or improbable situations in the present or future and their hypothetical results. It's often used for dreams, wishes, or imaginary scenarios.
So it's not about what will happen, but what would happen in an imaginary situation.
Precisely. The structure is if plus past simple would plus base verb. Let's take a classic example. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world.
That's a perfect example. Winning the lottery is often an unreal or improbable situation for most of us.
Right. In that example, if I won the lottery is the unreal condition, and I would travel the world is the hypothetical result. The past simple in the if clause doesn't refer to past time. It's just part of the grammar structure for hypothetical situations.
Can we reverse the clauses like with the first conditional?
Yes, you can. I would travel the world if I won the lottery. Again, if the if clause comes first, use a comma. If the would clause comes first, no comma.
So if the condition is unreal, we use the past simple and then would plus base verb for the result. Got it. This sounds perfect for talking about our dream board.
It certainly is. Let's imagine we're creating a dream board right now, pasting pictures of all our personal aspirations. Emily, what's the first big dream you'd put on your board, using our new vocabulary and the second conditional?
Okay, if I could put anything on my dream board, the very first thing would be travel. If I had unlimited vacation time and money, I would travel to every single continent. I've always dreamed of seeing Antarctica.
That's a fantastic adventure, Emily. Antarctica is definitely unique. What else would you put on your board?
Well, a big one for me, a truly personal goal, is to buy a house. But not just any house. If I found the perfect piece of land by the ocean, I would build my dream house there. It would have big windows overlooking the water.
Sounds beautiful. And what about skills or hobbies? If you had endless time, what hobby would you pursue or what language would you learn?
Oh, if I had nothing but free time, I would definitely learn a language. Probably Italian. I just love the sound of it. And for a hobby, if I didn't have to work, I would spend all my days painting. I really miss painting.
So io Queen, if you had nothing but free time, you would learn Italian and paint all day. Very clear. What about more community-focused dreams?
That's a good point. If I had enough financial stability to not worry about work, I would volunteer much more often. I would love to work with children, perhaps teaching them art or English.
That's a wonderful aspiration, Emily. My turn for the dream board.
All right, Brian, what's on your personal dream board? Give us your big bucket list items.
Okay, first, if I had the opportunity, I would retire early, maybe in my late 50s.
Oh, interesting. And if you retired early, what would you do with all that free time?
If I retired early, I would spend a lot of time on my hobby of gardening. I would cultivate a huge garden with exotic plants. And if I had even more time, I would travel to South America to explore the Amazon rainforest. That would be an incredible adventure.
An Amazonian adventure sounds amazing for you. What else, Brian?
Well, thinking about start a family. If I had started my family earlier in life, I would have had more time to watch my children grow up and experience all their milestones. It's a wish for something different, a hypothetical.
That's a very relatable sentiment. We often think about what-if scenarios in our personal lives.
Exactly. And if I somehow acquired a very large sum of money, I would buy a house in a quiet mountainous area far away from the city, a place where I could truly disconnect and enjoy nature.
So, if you acquired a very large sum of money, you would buy a house in the mountains. I can picture it. What about volunteering?
Yes, if I didn't have current work commitments, I would volunteer my time to teach English to new immigrants in my community. I think that would be a very fulfilling way to give back.
That's a beautiful way to apply your skills, Brian. What about a new language?
If I had the patience and the aptitude, I would learn a language like Mandarin Chinese. It seems incredibly challenging, but also incredibly rewarding.
It definitely is challenging. So, listeners, you can hear how the second conditional helps us talk about these dreams and wishes. It's perfect for those if-only moments or for imagining different lives.
Yes, it's about imagining situations that are not real now and what the consequences would be. If I were rich, I would buy a private jet. The were here is common with if I in the second conditional, even though was is also sometimes used in informal speech. If I were you, I would take that opportunity.
Oh, that's an important point. If I were you is a classic phrase for giving advice, right? Because I am not you, so it's a hypothetical situation.
Exactly. If I were you is always were, not was, in this structure, regardless of the subject. It's fixed in the second conditional.
So, if I were a bird, I would fly to the sun.
Perfect, Emily. That's a classic example of an unreal situation.
And you can use it for slightly negative hypothetical situations too, can't you? Like, if I didn't have so much work, I would go to the party.
Absolutely. If I didn't have so much work is the hypothetical condition, implying you do have a lot of work, making the condition unreal. I would go to the party is the hypothetical result.
This is so useful for talking about personal desires and what we would do if circumstances were different. It adds a whole new dimension to expressing ourselves in English.
It certainly does. It allows for creativity and self-expression, going beyond just facts and real possibilities. So, listeners, we encourage you to start your own mental dream board.
Yes, think about it. If you had unlimited money, what would you do? If you could travel anywhere, where would you go? What hobbies would you pursue?
If you could learn any language, which one would it be? Practice forming these sentences using the if plus past simple, would plus base verb structure.
This is truly about painting your life's canvas with words, and you now have the colors, or rather the vocabulary and grammar to do it.
Indeed. From career paths to personal passions, talking about future plans is a fantastic way to expand your English. Next up, we're going to talk about something crucial for achieving any of these dreams: overcoming challenges and staying motivated. Welcome back, everyone. We've talked about grand ambitions, career goals, and wonderful personal dreams. But let's be honest, achieving these things isn't always a smooth path, is it? Sometimes we face difficulties along the way.
Oh, absolutely, Brian. It's one thing to dream big, but it's another to actually make those dreams a reality. There are always unexpected bumps in the road, right? How do we talk about those challenges and how we keep going?
That's exactly what we're going to discuss now. This section is all about bouncing back, overcoming obstacles, and staying inspired. We'll equip you with the English to talk about challenges, resilience, and the amazing feeling of achieving a long-term goal.
Perfect. Let's dive into some key vocabulary for this topic. What's the first word we need to know for those bumps in the road?
The most direct word is obstacle. An obstacle is something that blocks your way or makes it difficult for you to achieve something. It's a hurdle or a barrier. For example, lack of funding was a major obstacle to launching her new business.
So, anything that gets in your way. And once you face an obstacle, how do you keep pushing through it?
That's where perseverance comes in. Perseverance is the continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. It's about not giving up. Think of it as a noun. His perseverance in studying English every day eventually led to fluency.
That's so important. It's that stubborn refusal to quit. What about the quality of being determined?
For that, we use determination. Determination is the quality of being resolute and firm in pursuing a goal. It's a strong desire to achieve something, and you won't let anything stop you. She showed great determination to finish the marathon even after injuring her leg. We often say someone has determination or is determined.
So, perseverance is the action of continuing, and determination is the internal drive. Makes sense. What about recovering quickly from difficulties?
That's resilience. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. It's the ability to bounce back, just like the title of our section. After losing her job, her resilience helped her quickly find a new opportunity. Someone who is resilient can adapt to change and recover from setbacks.
I love that word, resilience. It feels very strong. Now, to keep going, we need a push, right? That internal fire.
Yes, that's motivation. Motivation is the reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. It's the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. His motivation to learn English came from his desire to travel the world. You can feel motivated or lose motivation.
And sometimes we get that push from outside too, like from a great speaker or a powerful story.
Exactly. That's inspiration. Inspiration is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. It's the feeling of enthusiasm you get from someone or something. Her success story was an inspiration to many young entrepreneurs. Someone or something can be an inspiration, or they can inspire you.
So motivation is more internal, and inspiration can come from external sources. What about the small, consistent actions we take?
Those are habits. A habit is a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. Good habits are crucial for achieving long-term goals. Developing the habit of reading English articles every day improved his vocabulary significantly.
And to stick to those habits, we need self-control.
Indeed, that's discipline. Discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, using punishment to correct disobedience. But in a personal sense, it means controlled behavior resulting from training and self-control. Achieving fluency requires discipline to practice consistently. You have discipline or you lack discipline.
So, discipline helps you stick to your habits, which build towards your goals. And one final important concept, something we often consider when making big choices.
That's opportunity cost. This is a bit more of an economic term, but it's very useful when talking about choices and priorities in your future plans. Opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. For example, the opportunity cost of going to university immediately after high school might be the chance to travel the world for a year. It's what you give up when you choose one path over another.
That's a really insightful term, especially for discussing life choices. So to recap the vocabulary, obstacle, perseverance, determination, resilience, motivation, inspiration, habit, discipline, and opportunity cost. Excellent words for navigating challenges.
They certainly are. Now, to talk about achieving these long-term goals and looking back from a future point, we use a very powerful grammatical structure called the future perfect.
The future perfect. This one always sounds a bit mysterious to learners. How does it work?
It's actually quite logical once you get the hang of it. The future perfect is used to describe an action that will be completed by a certain point in the future. The structure is, we'll have past participle of the main verb.
So it's about looking forward to a future time and then looking back at an action that will be finished before that time?
Exactly. Imagine you're standing in the year 2030. You're looking back at something you started earlier and realize it's now finished. For example, by 2030, I will have graduated from university. This means that the act of graduating will be complete before you're at the year 2030.
I see. So it's not just I will graduate, but I will have graduated by then. It emphasizes completion.
Precisely. Another example, by next summer, they will have saved enough money to buy a car. This implies the saving process will be complete, and they'll have the money by that future point.
So it's perfect for talking about long-term goals that involve a lot of steps, and then you achieve them by a certain future date.
It is. We often use it with time expressions like by the time, before, or in 5 years' time. For instance, by the end of this year, I will have finished writing my book.
So it's about projecting into the future and seeing a completed action. Can we use it for negative sentences and questions too?
Yes, definitely. For negative, you just add not. By 2025, I will not have completed my master's degree yet. Or, by the time you arrive, I will not have started dinner. For questions, will you have finished your project by Friday?
Got it. We'll have plus past participle. This is a really elegant way to express future accomplishments. Brian, you're always so calm and clear. You must have faced obstacles in your life, right? Can you share a personal story about achieving a long-term goal, using some of our new vocabulary and perhaps the future perfect?
Of course, Emily. I'd be happy to. One significant long-term goal I set for myself years ago was to learn to play the classical guitar proficiently enough to perform publicly. It was a huge personal ambition.
Wow, that sounds like a big obstacle to overcome. What was the main challenge?
The biggest obstacle was consistency and time. With a full-time job and other responsibilities, finding several hours a day to practice felt impossible. There were many times I felt a complete lack of motivation, especially when a piece of music seemed too difficult.
I can imagine. It's hard to stay disciplined when you're tired.
Exactly, but I had a strong internal determination to reach this goal. My inspiration came from listening to amazing classical guitarists, imagining myself playing like them. I knew that if I didn't push through, the opportunity cost would be significant. I'd miss out on a truly rewarding experience.
So, how did you tackle that obstacle of time?
I decided to cultivate a new habit. Instead of aiming for hours, I committed to practicing for at least 30 minutes every single day, no matter what. Some days it was just 20 minutes, but I made sure I touched the guitar. This consistent daily discipline was key.
That's perseverance in action, little by little.
That's right. There were moments of frustration, mistakes, feeling like I wasn't progressing. My resilience was tested many times. I sometimes felt like quitting, but I always reminded myself of my ultimate goal.
And how long did it take you to feel truly proficient?
Well, looking back, I can say that by the end of 3 years, I will have been playing the classical guitar for over 1,000 hours. And by the time I finally performed my first piece in front of an audience, which was about 4 years after I started, I will have practiced that specific piece hundreds of times. The future perfect perfectly describes looking back from that performance date.
That's an amazing story, Brian. So, by the time you performed, you will have practiced hundreds of times. That makes it clear it was a completed action leading up to that point. And how did it feel?
It felt incredible. All the discipline, perseverance, and overcoming those obstacles made the achievement so much sweeter. It taught me that small, consistent habits, combined with determination, can lead to remarkable long-term achievements.
That's truly inspirational. Your story shows that even when facing obstacles, resilience and determination can get you through. For our listeners, when they're talking about their own goals or encouraging friends, what are some useful phrases they can use to encourage persistence and success?
Excellent question, Emily. It's so important to have phrases to support others and yourself.
Okay, give us some go-to lines.
First, a very common and simple one is, keep going. This is direct encouragement to continue despite difficulties, or don't give up.
Simple and powerful. What if someone is feeling really discouraged?
You could say, "You can do it." It expresses belief in their ability, or "I know you have the determination to see this through."
I love that. It uses our new vocabulary. What about reminding someone of their strength?
For that, you could say, "You're so resilient, you'll bounce back from this." Or, "Remember why you started." This helps them reconnect with their initial motivation or inspiration.
That's a great one. And if someone is struggling with consistency, maybe with those habits,
You could say, "Just take it one step at a time." This emphasizes progress and reduces the feeling of being overwhelmed. Or, "Small steps lead to big results."
like your guitar practice. And if someone is feeling overwhelmed by the sheer size of their goal,
You can say, "Break it down into smaller pieces." Or, "Focus on the process, not just the outcome." This helps build discipline around those daily habits.
these are fantastic phrases. So we have keep going, zrenia, nie zdawajcie, component placement. You can do it. Zrenia, I know you have the determination to see this through. Zrenia, you're so resilient, you'll bounce back from this. Logically, remember why you started. Zrenia, just take it one step at a time. Swing, small steps lead to big results. Zrenia, break it down into smaller pieces. Zrenia, and focus on the process, not just the outcome.
Absolutely. Using these phrases not only helps you encourage others, but also helps you internalize these concepts for your own journey. Think about your goals, big or small.
Yes, listeners, what obstacles are you currently facing in your English learning journey, or perhaps with a personal goal? What habits do you need to build with discipline?
Consider this. By the end of this year, what will you have achieved? Or, by this time next year, what new skill will you have mastered? Think about how you'll use that future perfect tense to describe your accomplishments.
That's such a motivating way to look at it. It's about seeing your future self, successful and having overcome challenges. It makes the journey feel more purposeful.
It truly does. Understanding how to talk about obstacles, perseverance, and resilience helps us articulate the very human experience of working towards something meaningful. And the future perfect lets us confidently project our successes.
So whether it's learning a new language, starting a business, or mastering a musical instrument, remember Brian's story and these phrases. Your determination and discipline will get you there.
Indeed. Keep practicing, keep pushing, and remember, every obstacle is an opportunity to show your resilience. Now let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll recap all the amazing vocabulary and grammar we've covered today. Welcome back, English learners. What an incredible journey we've taken today, exploring the vast landscape of future plans and ambitions.
It really has been inspiring. From imagining our biggest dreams to thinking about overcoming challenges, we've covered so much useful language.
Indeed. Before we sign off, let's quickly recap some of the most important vocabulary and expressions we've learned today that will help you articulate your future.
Absolutely. We started with foundational words like goal, which is something you want to achieve, and ambition, which is a strong desire to do or achieve something.
Then we talked about your dreams, which are often big, imaginative aspirations, and your plans, which are the detailed steps you intend to take to make those dreams a reality.
And don't forget milestone, a significant stage or event in the development of something. It's like a checkpoint on your journey.
In the context of education and career, we touched on words like entrepreneurship for starting your own business. And for your personal aspirations, we imagine things on a bucket list, which are experiences you want to have before you die.
And when things get tough, we learned about obstacles, which are difficulties that block your progress. But we also armed ourselves with words like perseverance, which means continuing despite difficulties, and resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks.
We also highlighted determination, that strong drive to achieve something, and motivation, the reason or desire you have to do something. These are vital for staying on track.
And we dove into some crucial grammar. We clarified the difference between will for predictions and spontaneous decisions, and going to for plans and intentions.
We used the first conditional to talk about realistic possibilities. If I study hard, I will pass the exam.
And the second conditional for those hypothetical or dream scenarios. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world.
Finally, we mastered the future perfect, which lets you talk about actions that will be completed by a specific point in the future. Remember, by next year, I will have learned a lot of new English vocabulary.
What a powerful set of tools you now have. With these words and grammar structures, you are much better equipped to talk about your own future, your aspirations, and even the challenges you might face.
That's our hope. And now it's your turn. We'd love for you to put what you've learned into practice.
Yes, in the comments section below, we encourage you to share your own future plans and ambitions. Use some of the vocabulary and grammar we've discussed today.
For example, you could write, "My biggest ambition is to get a promotion at work. By the end of next year, I will have completed a new training course to help me reach that goal."
Or maybe, if I had more free time, I would learn a new language. But for now, my plan is to continue improving my English discipline.
Your comments not only help you practice, but also create a wonderful community where we can all learn and inspire each other.
So please share your dreams. And as always, if you enjoyed learning English with us today, remember to like, share, and comment. It really helps YouTube recommend our podcast so more people can discover our content and improve their English with us.
Your support truly makes a difference and allows us to continue creating these episodes for you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Dream Big, Learn English Through Future Plans and Ambitions. We hope you feel more confident and inspired to talk about your own exciting future.
Remember, fluency is about living the language, one phrase at a time. The future is built one step at a time. And now you have the English to talk about yours.
Until next time, keep dreaming big and keep practicing your English. Goodbye for now.
See you next time.